Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to deploy printers to end user machines using Microsoft Intune and the Universal Print Printer Provisioning tool. If you're not familiar with Universal Print, I've included a link above to my previous video where I give an overview of Universal Print and show you how to publish a printer. Before we get started, let's talk about what the Universal Printer Provisioning tool is. It's a tool that helps organizations deploy printers on users' Windows 10 devices utilizing Microsoft Intune. It's deployed via Win32 Intune app packages, and it gives you the ability to assign printers via groups or allow self-service printer deployment via the company portal. Next, we'll talk about how are printers deployed using the Microsoft Universal Print Provisioning tool. Printers are deployed using two separate Win32 applications. The first application package will install a background service on the Windows 10 device and will listen for the user login event. The second package will put the config file on the user's Windows 10 device, and when the user logs in, the background service will be triggered to install Universal Print printers that are found in the printers.csv file. I'll give you an example of the printers.csv file later on in the video. Here are some prerequisites you will need to deploy printers to Windows 10 client devices using Microsoft Intune and Universal Print. The user must be assigned a Universal Print license. The user's Windows devices must meet the requirements for Universal Print, and the user's Windows devices must be enrolled with Microsoft Intune and have .NET Framework 4.6.1 or above. The provisioning tool can be downloaded from Microsoft's website, and I will include a link in the video description to download the tool. When downloading the Universal Print Provisioning tool, it will include a sample policy for deploying printers and the Universal Print Printer Provisioning tool Intune Win file that you can publish the Win32 application package to install the background service. Now let's take a look at creating the Win32 app package that will deploy the background service. You will create the Win32 app package using the Intune Win file included with the provisioning toolkit. When creating the app package, after uploading the Intune Win file, most of the information will be automatically populated, including the install command and the uninstall command. When creating the detection rule, after selecting manually configure a detection rule and then selecting MSI, the MSI GUID will be automatically populated for you. After the application has been published, you can assign this application to any device that you would like to push printers to using the print provisioning tool. Now that we've installed the Win32 application package to deploy our background service, we'll go ahead and create the Win32 application package that will deploy the printer configuration file. In the provisioning tool download, there's a sample policy folder that contains the following two files, installpolicy.cmd and printers.cmd. The installpolicy.cmd is an example script that copies the printers.csv file to the correct location. You can review this installpolicy.cmd as a reference and decide if a custom script may work better in your environment. But for now, we'll go ahead and open up the printers.csv file to get this prepared to deploy the printer that we would like to deploy to our client devices. So after opening this CSV file, you'll see a shared ID and a shared name and whether or not we want this printer to be default. So you can have multiple printers in this CSV file, but in our example, we're only going to publish the one printer. So to publish the printer in the CSV file, we'll want to grab our shared ID from the Universal Print portal on the overview section of the printer that we would like to publish. So we'll put our share ID in the shared ID column, our share name in the shared name column, and then include whether or not we want this printer as the default. After creating our .csv file, we'll use the Win32 Intune application packaging tool to wrap our CMD and .csv file and deploy that Intune Win as our Win32 application package. So for the install command, we're going to install this in the user space. So if you reference the policy.cmd, you'll see we either have the option to install this at a machine level or a user level. But in this example, we're going to install this in the user context. So for our install command, we'll use install policy.cmd space user space install. And for the uninstall command, we'll use install policy.cmd space user space uninstall. And if we take a look at our detection rule, for this example, I just made sure that after the script runs that the printers.csv file exists in that location. But for your environment, you may utilize a different detection rule that suits your need, but this has seemed to work well in most scenarios. After deploying the Win32 application package with the printer configuration and assigning it to the desired users, we'll now take a look at the deployed printers from the end user perspective. So after the next logon, we'll see that the cloud printer has been added for the printer that we've deployed, and it's now available for the user to print from on their client machine. In this video, we've covered how to deploy printers to end user devices using Intune and the Universal Print Provisioning tool. If you have any questions on how to get started with Universal Print in your environment, please feel free to reach out. Thanks for taking the time to watch my video today, and please subscribe to my channel for future videos.